Welcome back. As you've no doubt taken notice, firefighters in Southern California, thanks to the diminishing, raging Santa Ana winds, have been making steady, though agonizing progress, containing or attempting to contain wildfires around the Los Angeles area that have killed 27 people and destroyed more than 12,000 structures. Here's just some of the damage we are seeing. These photographs were taken by photographer Stuart Palley, who has been photographing wildfires for the better part of a decade. He joins us now. Stuart is also the author, I'm proud to say, of The Inferno, a photographer's journey through California's mega fires and fallout. Stuart, it's great to have you with us. As a native of Southern California, this story hits me pretty hard. And I have many friends who've had to evacuate. Fortunately, their structures haven't been burned to the ground, but many of their friends' structures, residences, apartments have. And what they keep telling me via text and email is no photograph properly conveys the magnitude of what's happened. Has that been your experience?
I completely agree with that. The toughest message to get across is photographing 150 fires over 10 years, even being on the ground taking thousands of photos over the last week. It's just hard to get across the scale of the destruction and devastation, the thousands of structures lost, the tens of thousands of people who will be displaced for years on end. Your assessment of that is spot on. It's just an absolute tragedy and a humanitarian crisis.
And Stuart, were you doing this as it was happening?
Yes, that's correct. So I was actually at the Eaton Fire in Altadena photographing that hours after the fire started. And as the fire came through into the town, I remember getting off the freeway and having small spot fires in the mulch off of the freeway in Altadena. It was fire behavior like I'd never seen in my career. We had hurricane force wind gusts of over 80 miles an hour in some areas.
And Stuart, explain to the audience in your own words how difficult, if not impossible, that makes it for firefighters arrayed to respond in a situation like that.
Of course, when you have winds that strong, you have embers creating spot fires 1, 2, even some cases 3 miles out front of the fire. And when it's moving that fast, all you can do is get people out of the way and try and save lives. At that point, saving structures becomes the priority after you've gotten people out of harm's way. And my heart breaks for every single person that lost their lives in this fire, who lost their homes. And first responders saved so many lives getting people out of harm's way, getting them out of hospital beds, people who were in nursing homes. So there were so many great saves done here. And I've seen a lot of criticism of the response, but I have to say that being there, and obviously you can see from my photos there, we were fighting against physics in a fire that did not stop until the wind stopped. And all we could do is get people out of the way. And then firefighters came back in and protected homes as best they could.
Stuart, did you have any moment where you were afraid for your physical safety?
I am fortunate to have a little bit of wildfire training, and so it took all of my expertise and knowledge and past fire experiences to be safe. But there were certainly factors that were concerning to me. We had tree branches 6 feet tall from palm trees flying in through the air, stop signs of thin sheet metal flying through the air that if they hit somebody could cause serious injuries. So certainly there was a little bit of concern in the back of my mind to stay aware of the surroundings and what was going on and be safe, because my priority is to tell pictures and, more importantly, to be safe, because I want to stay out of the way of first responders and document them doing their job and not become a liability to them.
And the audience may have gleaned this, but I want to make sure they understand. Sometimes you are actually embedded with first responders, so you're right near them, not right alongside them, but near them. With this fire and the velocity, the enormity, what was their experience? What did you see in their eyes or their reaction to what they were up against?
Firefighters are typically to the point and straightforward, and I had multiple fire veterans who've been in the fire service in the Los Angeles area for over 30 years that are getting close to retirement tell me that this is the most extreme fire behavior they've seen. And remember, we're January right now. Fire season is year-round in California, but typically we've had wetting rains and the fuels are still so dry and we have potential winds in the future. So while fire crews are getting a break right now, we do have more winds in the forecast. So it's still all hands on deck and there's concerns there. But again, firefighters are telling me this is some of the most extreme fire behavior they witnessed in their careers. And these fires are within sight of downtown Los Angeles.
And when you were there, did you experience a phenomenon where people were evacuating like around you, like moving past you as you were moving in or closer to the fires?
That's correct, especially at the Eaton Fire in Altadena. The fire was moving so quickly. Of course, I parked my vehicle out of the way and walked in on foot, so my truck wasn't in the way of anybody. But I was walking up the sidewalk, and next to me, people were leaving the fire, going out, taking pictures as they left, FaceTiming their friends and family to make sure they got out. And I will say again, first responders and emergency services did a great job of getting people out of the way. But with the fire spreading so fast, people were leaving as I was photographing. It was chaos, most certainly, for a few hours.
This is an event that will define California's near-term future. It will define for the nation what wildfires can be at their most severe and damaging. Stuart Palley, you said you can't capture all of it, but the photographs we've seen capture a great deal of it, and we're indebted. Thank you very much.
Thank you.